Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes, yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Oh yeah, what's going on? What's up, fellas? What's cracking?
Chilling.
All right. Yo, this your boy Major Gage. I am in the building. I got my mans in them with me. They go by the names of Anthony Malcolm and Bobby Drake, and we are Manifestations 2020. We in the building. We live. What's going on, fellas? Talk to me.
What up, man? Chilling, man.
Yeah, man. I know.
Blessed Resurrection Day, y'all.
Yes. Happy Easter, to all the Christian heads out there. You know what I'm saying? Happy Easter. Any special things y'all want to talk about before we get into it? We got a big show today. We got a lot going on out here in these raggedy dating and relationship streets. Talk to me, man.
Geez, what? Oh, gosh, I had so much stuff that I was gonna say. Oh man, there's so many stuff that was going on this week. I just got so pulled in with everything that was going on. I was watching the I don't know if you guys ran across it, but I was watching the Cam Newton and Kendra G joint.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. It's in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I came across it. Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was very comical, catching on a lot of lies, man. That's
how you get washed by Cam Newton.
Oh,
Kendra G is such a bird brain, dog. Like, my God.
I thought that was very interesting. Shout out to Nature Jab. I think that's his name. Nature Jab, is that his name? The young man that goes around and makes gasoline out of plastic.
Oh, I don't know him.
I think I've seen his video. I don't remember the name. I don't remember seeing that attached, but I have seen videos of a young brother that does that.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Brother's been out here converting plastic into gas, and he's been touring around and going to different cities. And he's asking people, like, if you want to use your car to test his product out. And I think this one girl, I think she was in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think he was in Atlanta, and this girl had an SRT Charger.
Yeah.
And she had hers was decked out, man. This girl had hers printed out real good. She had the little pink Ram horn on it and everything. And he went and put she was on 0, like on E. They pushed the button, it would not start. He put the plastiline, that's what he calls it. He put that gas in it.
Yeah.
And that joint started up. She was revving it. She was doing donuts, smoked out. Crowd was going crazy. Black people were coming in. And I love to see that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when you go to his page, he's not really 2-3 million followers. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is very sad, because you have all these people like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion that have all these followers, and they don't do shit for the community. And here you have a young genius who's basically in the faces of different people that look like us, that's inspiring them to like say, hey, this brother looks like us and he's doing phenomenal stuff. He's a scientist. Maybe that will start to motivate other young people to get into the scientist aspect of the field and stop worrying about being rappers and athletes and all of that, and start expanding into fields that we need more of our people in, man. That's what our ancestors were. Our ancestors had a wide range of fields that they tapped into. So we need to get back to that, because we're losing people in a lot of those areas. And I thought that was very, very dope and inspirational for a lot of young people to go out there and see this young man and in him interacting with them, taking pictures with them. I thought that was very inspirational, man. So shout out to that, and I'll land my plane on that.
And we need to protect that brother, because we need to protect that brother, because every time one of us goes ahead and makes some innovations in the fueling field, we're talking about alternative energy sources and whatnot. As soon as that happens, all of a sudden someone ends up committing suicide and all that nonsense. So they, there's some mysterious handwritten note that's not in their handwriting saying, this world has gotten too much for them, or they have to end it all.
Always.
So, that brother is happy. He's joyful. He loves what he does. He's passionate. He is not eyed suicidal. I repeat, he is not eyed suicidal. He has no desire to take his life. He's actually living his best life, doing what he does. So, y'all get the hell up out of here with that nonsense.
Facts. 100. Go ahead, Bobby. Anything real quick before we get into it, or that was it?
Not too much. I saw there's this channel that I stumbled upon that looks like it's picked up from where Boondocks left off, and I don't know how deep they are, and I will just scratch the surface of it today, but they're putting out some real thorough animation that's in the same vein. Really speaking truth to power. A lot of the things that we talked about, I saw this really, really great. I didn't get a chance to share it with y'all. I'm gonna do it later on. But this really great video where this brother broke down this whole kind of very innovative concept of the CIA creating these half black human, half crab hybrids. And the purpose was to go ahead and send them amongst us to go ahead and eat like crabs in the barrels. And you saw several circumstances where you saw this one brother who was kind of doing what he was doing. He's this engineer, about to make a huge innovation. He was like, hey, that's a nice invention, but you don't need to do that. You need to go start a podcast where you talk garbage about women all day. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're not going to make no money off of this, but in that podcast space, you're going to be ranking them. He's like, well, that's a good idea. When he did that, he took this sister who was trying to go to nursing. He's like, nah, you know what? You need to go start an OnlyFans. That's going to do a whole lot more good for the community. And it was hilarious, but I watched like, you know what? The way it's really hitting at the truth is really thorough and on point. So again, just kind of going back to what you were saying, Ant, if we're going to be out here doing something, we need to be constructive with it. If you want to be an animator, if comics or cartoons is your passion, there's a lot of real topics that needs your unique viewpoint to go ahead and hammer these things home. Go ahead and do that. If you like science or whatever, don't just be content to do little, little tricks for YouTube or whatever. Go out and actually engineer, make some things that we really need out here. There's too much work out here that needs to be done for us to go back and say, well, I can't do that, or someone else to do it. No, you're the one. If God gave you the skills, the know-how, the ability, that's your job. That's your burden. The reason why we make no headway is because the people that got the skills ain't doing nothing with it.
Thanks.
What you got it for, either you shouldn't or get up off the pot. One of the two. So,
yeah, you ain't told no lie, man. I mean, it's time already. I mean, there's so much that needs to be said. Yeah, we need some brothers that's going to get out here and get serious. We got enough rappers. We got enough athletes. Yeah, we need some more of those brothers out here. Well said.
Hey, shout out to you, dog, for giving me chats with Shan.
Sick. Chantel Simone.
Yeah,
that girl is a beast.
Hey,
she's a beast.
Yo, she ripped Jesse Wong. Oh my gosh.
Put me on.
Jesse Wong. Jesse Wong.
Oh my God. Oh, she's such an idiot. Yeah. She goes down on everybody. She don't pull no punches.
But what surprised
me
is
wrong.
that
It's Jesse Wrong. That's her name. She earned the R. Give her the R.
What surprised me about it is that she's a Jamaican woman.
Yeah.
That I've never heard a Jamaican woman that has that type of viewpoints, dog. And that shit blows my mind.
Because she's a Jamaican. She's not an Americanized Jamaican.
Yeah. Her accent is thick in those things. So she don't play. I watched a couple of videos, man.
We got to get her on the show. She killed me when she started talking about the women in their long titty. Yo, she be
What's her name?
Chats with
one of my favorite creators, dog.
Chats with Shan?
Yeah.
Chantel Simone, Chats with Shan. Yeah, her, Dee Dee's reactions. What's her name? Just the Girl Talk. All these girls, man, they do not play. They hold women accountable. What's her name? River TV also. I mean, it's sisters out here. They ain't playing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really take my hat off to them. I'm glad you got to listen to her, man. Yeah, she a beast.
Yeah, she fucks them up with the receipts, boy. She don't fuck off.
She is so thorough, man. Yeah, I'm very thankful for her and other sisters out here doing the work. I love it. So, in that same vein, you know what I'm saying? We were supposed to do this show some time ago, but I think we ended up having a guest on. We had to cancel the show that week. But I cannot think of a more appropriate time for us to talk about this. Raggedy dating practices. There's so much going on out here. I had to cut stuff out in order to be able to make the show. I'm going to set it off with this because this, out of all of the stories that we have, this one kind of strikes me as the most important. Shout out to our former vice mayor, our good sister Nancy. Nancy Mateo Bowen. Unfortunately, she was shot and killed a couple weeks back by her husband, apparently. And, you know, we're still getting the details and so forth and so on that story. Very tragic story. I'll go ahead and roll the tape and then y'all can tell me how y'all feel about it on the other side. Just no excuse for this, man. Check this out.
Tonight, a rising star in Florida politics is dead, and her husband charged with her murder. Stephen Bowen was arrested Wednesday after police say they found the body of his wife, Nancy, at their home. Nancy Bowen was the vice mayor of Coral Springs, Florida. After she missed city meetings, officers went to her home for a wellness check, according to the affidavit, which says her body was found wrapped in blankets along with 3 spent shotgun shells. That same day, Stephen Bowen knocked on an unidentified person's door, according to the affidavit, and asked that person to hold on to a shotgun for him. He then admitted that he shot his wife 3 times with a shotgun the previous night and then slept downstairs. Nearby, a pillow with burn marks fashioned as a makeshift silencer. Asked why, Stephen Bowen said that he couldn't take it anymore. Today, Bowen appearing before a judge who ordered him to be held without bond.
The court does find probable cause for the charges.
Tonight, Nancy Mateo Bowen is being remembered as a trailblazer. The 38-year-old was the first Black and Haitian American woman elected to the Coral Springs Commission.
She was always smiling, always smiling.
Wenda Tima was a close friend.
She was one of the good ones because she cared. She cared, and she didn't just care about the community that she came from. She cared about everyone. She cared about making a difference.
Bowen was said to be eyeing a run for Congress tonight, remembered by her family as a sister, a daughter, and a friend whose laughter filled every room.
So, shout out to our good sister, Nancy Mateo Bowen. As they said in the video, from what I understand, she was one of the good ones. I'm not very clear on her political past, whatever the case may be. However, you know, this is how her peers spoke of her, as someone who was in politics but actually did care about people, which is very rare. So I want to shout that out. And, you know, I really hope that she gets justice. I hope that, you know, they do what they need to do with the man who murdered her. You know, he should be punished to the fullest extent of the law, in my view. I mean, the details are right there in the case. It's not even much that can be hidden. It's kind of out there what happened. I mean, there's just no excuse for this. You know, as men, one of the primary functions that we serve in a marital capacity is to be our woman's protector. That's one of the primary functions that we serve. So how are you supposed to be her protector? And not only do you leave her unprotected, you actually end up being the one harming her. You murder her in cold blood. There's no excuse for that. I mean, my head exploded when I heard this story. It just makes no sense. If you're that weak and you're that ill-controlled as far as your emotions, whatever the case may be, you need to go and seek counseling somewhere. You need to go and sit on somebody's couch and let somebody get in your head and fix you. There's no excuse. There's just no excuse, man. I was disgusted by this. What y'all say on it, man?
Yeah, it was very horrible. I say to Nancy, phenomenal young lady. I know her from working in the community. She was with Florida Majority. She gave jobs to, you guys know Emmanuel George, who's a historian in Broward. He worked for Florida Majority. She was the one who put him on with that. Also, if you guys know Stephen, y'all see me tag Stephen. Oh gosh, what's his last name? Geez, I can't remember his last name.
His name will come, but yeah.
Y'all see me tag Stephen. Shout out to Stephen, super dope dude. He was also with Florida Majority, and she helped him with a lot of stuff that he needed her with. And if I'm not mistaken, she also helped him with his father,
Stephen Moreno Jones.
Stephen Moreno. Yeah, there you go. Stephen Moreno Jones. And I apologize, Steve, if you're watching this, because that's my little ace boo cool, man. But Steve, man, I think she also helped him with his father. His father was incarcerated, and with the help of a lot of resources, got his father out. out of jail. So, you know, she was a very pivotal person with a lot of resources that really was helping a lot of people in the community. I will say this, people don't understand that when you're dealing with people, when you're aligning yourself with a mate, make sure that you're aligning yourself with somebody who is not jealous of you, one, two, who understands what you do for a living. A lot of people are aligning with people off of the fact that they feel like, oh, you know, you're a good person that I just want to be with. It's more to a marriage than that. That's something you can do when you're in a dating phase. But when you're serious about it, marriage is a business. There's give and takes. There's moments that is going to be great, and there's moments that's going to be low. But in the marriage, how you guys conduct yourself and how you guys tightly knit together throughout that journey is what keeps the marriage afloat. If you listen to anybody who's been married for a long time, they'll tell you that. It's not an easy thing. Nobody has a script about how to be married. You go with the flow, but you go with it with good intentions of your person. I will do anything for my mate, and your mate should have the same energy as I'll do anything for my mate. There's going to be times where you're going to be busy in your job. You make time for your mate. You know, that's both sides. So a lot of times when you see, and men and women do this, so it's not just women, but there are men out there that don't understand the job positions of the mate that they have, doesn't understand what it in details. You know, people also look at you and they say, oh, I'm cool with it from the outside in. But when you're in that marriage and you're dealing with that person and you have to intertwine and know what they're dealing with, know their workload, know the heavy hours that they put in, that's what made them successful. You can't come in there and try to subtract that. You have women that enter into a man's space and try to cut down what he was putting out to make him successful. You can't do that. You have to ride with the program, kind of fit and wedge your way in. And as him as your husband, have to understand, okay, she's making a lot of transitions and things to make this work. I got to take time out to show her appreciation for doing what that is, because that is not easy. So you have women and men that come together, and what happens is the fact that, you know, people think that they can handle that till they get in that situation. And I think that's what it was. I think that he didn't understand that Nancy was a person who is always in the streets, picking up the phone, there for people. Those type of people, you just can't go in and think that you're running a marriage as a regular marriage. Your marriage is going to be different. You see that with the First Lady and Obama. They talked about their relationship throughout their marriage and the details in that. So it's no different when you're in a political realm. And the sad part about it, and this is for anybody that's going into the future of a political realm, understand that a lot of times that's the image that they want out there, right? They want to see you married, and sometimes these marriages are forced. Sometimes these marriages are beards like Gillum, you know what I'm saying? And then you also have another dude, I'm not trying to put his business out there, but he's a senator. Y'all know who he is. And he also tries to play that side too. And that's not his real reality. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in a political realm, they always want this tradition of a family structure to get you where you need to be, because people want to see that. So sometimes when you're rushing to do that and get into a marriage, you're rushing into somebody that you're not properly aligned with, somebody that doesn't understand you. And that's why you have this tragedy right here. You know, I say to the young lady, man, and I rest my faith.
So sad. Bobby Drake, so sad. My God.
Condolences to Nancy and the rest of the Mateer and the Bowen family as well, for both families, because you know, obviously the Mateers are grieving because they've lost their their sister, their niece, their aunt, whoever she is in their lives, and their friends, but also the Bowen family as well. I know a lot of people are going to give that a side eye, or some people might be dismissive of it, but the reality is that's a deep moment of shame for them. I'm sure that there were members of the family that loved Nancy very much, that Nancy loved as well. And so they're grieving from not just losing their in-law, but they're grieving because they have to deal with the shame and embarrassment of this asshat and what he did.
Yeah.
And how he went ahead and did this well too. They're going to have to live with that. I'm sure that many members of the family are going to have to deal with all kinds of side eyes and negative remarks towards them that are completely unjust and unfounded because they didn't do it. They didn't do anything.
Right.
But because unfortunately they share the last name as this asshole, they're going to get the flack that comes his way as well. So keeping them in mind as well.
I think posted on his
of course, like you said, this is a very recent event, so due diligence is being done, investigations are being conducted, but not in the interest of spreading gossip or whatever. That's not what we do here. But the word around the campfire from reliable sources, and I'm not going to put them specifically out there. But the word around the street is that apparently Stephen was having an affair on his wife. And what happened was she confronted him about it. And that's when he decided to go ahead and pull out the boomstick and did what he did.
Wow.
She probably, I don't know if she threatened to divorce him or expose him or what the case may be, but I don't know if it was, if he was having an affair, don't know if it was with another woman, don't know if it was with a man, whoever it is, speaking on that, just speaking in the context of that, we have to be mindful, like Ann said, about the relationships, the situations that we find ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times you have people, mainly men, this also affects women as well, but you have men, when they feel inadequate, and we don't know what the relationship was like, we don't know the feelings in that marriage and that relationship, but it is not uncommon when you have women or a spouse who is high achieving, they're well known, they're well respected in the community, they're very popular, they're upwardly mobile. If the other person in the relationship, and again, this is not exclusive to men, but this impacts men significantly because we're talking about how roles typically are divided amongst us.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for some of those men to go ahead and get uncomfortable or feel emasculated or feel little because they're with this woman that's doing big things and they're just sitting in the background, just looking like, in their minds, not up to par, what have you. Don't know what he did. Maybe he was doing better than her economically. I don't know. But you talk about politics and she's looking to run for Congress. Her star was very much on the increase. We're not sure where he's at.
Yeah.
One of the things that petty, small-minded men will do is they will go ahead and they will cheat. And that's the way of reclaiming their masculinity. Like, yeah, who cares if she's doing all this? I'm getting no ass. So this is a thing that happens. And so if she's in a position now where she finds out about to blow his spot or what have you, he stands to get boosted out. Maybe he was living off her. I don't know. But he's in a situation where his standard of living is about to be completely upended and uprooted.
Yeah.
That can definitely lead to feelings of inadequacy. And this goes back to what I keep saying, but apparently y'all mofos don't listen. So please go ahead, get a spoon, scrape the wax out your damn ear. I'm going to say it again. Integrity is free. There are no tariffs on integrity. None. Cost of living and inflation is not effective. Has not affected integrity. And for some reason, for a lot of y'all people, that seems to be the one damn item that y'all can't afford. I don't get it.
All facts.
If you've bitten off more than you can chew, this relationship isn't doing it for me. Maybe I do feel too small, or maybe I feel like I'm not getting my wife. This is what I signed up for. This is out of control. That's fine. That's fine. Go to court, file divorce amicably, split things on a even keel, fairly. Go about your business. Cheating is not the way. And now look at you. You got your spot busted up. And instead of saying, damn, I got caught, now I don't want to deal with this, so I'm going to make the problem go away. One last thing I want to say is my dude, shout out my brother Atlas. He said something very, very poignant the other day. and I gotta read this really quickly. He said, and this actually fits perfectly. He said, every man needs a crash out contingency plan. You find out your kids ain't yours? What is your crash out contingency plan? Your wife wants a divorce? What is your crash out contingency plan? Your girl cheats on you with your best friend? What is your crash out contingency plan? If any of these things or more happen to you, do you have any man that you can call to talk you down from crashing out? He said, I do, because I know what I'm capable of with rage. So my brothers, please develop a crash out contingency plan. It's as important as a life insurance policy. And that's important because if you have not planned for worst case scenarios, whether they happen to you or they're of your own making, whenever it hits the fan and your stress is going to the next level, that anxiety is going out of control, you will reach for whatever is the first option on the table. And if you have not prepared it adequately, whatever the option is on the table will always be the worst case one. It could be unaliving your spouse, but it could also be unaliving yourself.
True.
It could be going on the spree and unaliving other people. If you have not prepared, if you're not planned and gotten prepared, then you are prepared to fail. So, brothers, please, we have to take this seriously. No, it's not a game out here, man.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And interesting enough, you mentioned on there something that actually comes up in another one of the stories. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, this is actually a real case because, women love to talk about, such and such was intimidated by me and how great I am. And this sounds like it might have been a real live case of that. We're going to talk about someone who's near and dear to your heart, Bobby, Ari Lennox, because apparently men are intimidated by her success. So we're going to explore that and come back on the other end. You tell me.
You watch.
I have a woman who's good on paper, right? She's successful, she's beautiful, and they're like, oh, she got too many college degrees. I know why he left that bitch. She's probably a know-it-all.
Yeah. I thought it was everything to have a house, to have just be taking care of myself and all of these things, all of these ambitious goals of mine that I've been able to achieve. I thought that would be attractive. And in meeting men and dating a lot of successful men, none of them would ever talk about how exciting it is that I've invested in properties or would ever even want to come to see my house or at all. It was very much so, no, just come over here or it felt like all my accomplishments were minimized. Wow. And so I realized me being accomplished and independent would attract other successful men. Or successful men, and just realizing, wow, I think it deters them.
Yeah. It does.
It intimidates them.
I agree with that because I used to feel that way too. Like I used to think he gonna care that I got my degree. He gonna care that I'm successful. He gonna care that I got my own shit. I pay my own bills. No, men do not care about that. I always say, just get rid of your shit because they like girls without anything.
Wow.
Just get rid of your shit.
Yeah. If you want a man that bad, I don't want one that bad. I'm keeping my shit.
Can we really talk about it? I'm not getting rid of my big dogs.
Right.
They say that's another thing that scares men away. Like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I want a farm man anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby, she wants a farm man anyway. You dig? So look,
I'm known a garden from time to time.
Listen, I'm sorry. I just got to call it down the middle. She is so breathtakingly lost and stupid. It's fascinating. That's not even. I spared her from some of the less flattering parts of that interview. I only want to hone in on this particular part. But first of all, she sit up there with these two birds. The one with the overly exposed cleavage, and then the other one with a leg out. You know what I'm saying? Just thirst trapping. They don't even know how to sit down and have a conversation. They just doing bird shit, and then the whole time they just keep feeding her bullshit ideas, and she's soaking them up, doing the clock the chi gesture, doing the clock the T gesture, and all that bullshit. This is not good. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I thought so much more of Ari Lennox until she opened her mouth and started talking. And now I'm starting to understand. You remember when she was on tour with Rod Wave and she was complaining that they weren't protecting her and people were throwing shit at her from the audience and this, that, and the third. And basically she was on the whole, why aren't they protecting me? Now I can kind of understand why. She's one of those, I don't need no man. I'm strong and independent. Oh, my accomplishments are being dismissed. And oh my God, these men are so intimidated by me. And some of those men may be intimidated by her. The problem is this: when you assume that men are intimidated by you instead of, trying to understand, because she gave no rationale behind why she said that. She just said it. Just because they aren't wowed by my accomplishments, then they must be intimidated by them. That is what makes it wrong. That is what makes it baseless. That is what makes it nonsensical. And, she got these two other ones just feeding her nonsense. Just get rid of all your shit, girl, because they like women that don't have nothing. Just nonsense. You understand? And she's sitting up there soaking it all up. Her response was, yeah? For real? I mean, that's how she's listening to them as they're inundating her with this bird babble. You understand what I'm saying? And so I see a few things here. The thing that bothers me the most, I feel like I see a decent woman being turned to the dark side. That's what I feel like when I see that. You understand what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. She could have been a bird the whole time. Look at Whitney Houston. You understand? So I'm not sure. Y'all tell me what y'all saw in that clip. I was not impressed.
It's mind-boggling how impressionable a lot of these older women are.
There you go.
We have a lot of women our age and older that are holding shrines of Beyonce in their closet.
Facts.
You're starting to see, like I tell people all the time, that being gay, yes, there are some people that are gay because they naturally feel that way.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people in the LGBTQIA community that have been influenced into being gay. People don't think that's a real thing. You can be influenced into anything if you're that impressionable.
That's true.
You have young kids, and I talked about that last time with what's his name? Michael Irvin's son. He's impressionable. He wants to be a thug. And this guy ain't never been in the hood like that, never seen that part of the hood.
Facts.
Outside with birds chirping, big gated community, and you want to act like you NBA Youngboy, or you want to act like Kodak Black and all these other dudes, and that's not your life. But so many people are impressionable, and it's not even just our Black youth. Even look at the white youth when they listen to rap music and how impressionable they are based on what we say. You know, they want to dress like us, talk like us, disobey their parents to show us that they cool and they down. So it's a lot of impressionable people in this world, and it's so sad that a lot of women inside that quote unquote what neo soul community are some of the most impressionable women, and you would think that they are some of the strongest women, but man,
look at
you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised. A lot of them have more hoe tendencies than the hoes.
It worse. Facts.
Super hoes.
So
look at Erykah Badu. Facts.
So you gotta understand that when you see these type of women, they could be impressed in the right way, but when they have too many of the wrong people around them, that's how they end up talking like that. They just repeat and regurgitate feminist nonsense. You know what I'm saying? KS, always told us that he, rest in peace to the Godfather. He always said that men, which is true, men don't give a fuck about what you got going on. You are there for them. You're a helpmate. It's so crazy how these women every woman wants a quote unquote God-fearing man. You want this God-fearing man, this man of God and everything like that. Yet y'all still don't follow the scriptures. You only pick and choose what scriptures you want to apply to yourself. Because if you understand that, if you understand the Bible like you say you do, then you understand that the man, the head of the household, the one that you say you only submit to if he knows how to lead, dummy, you got to understand God is the one that is connected to him. His message goes through that man, your husband, and that message is now dispersed to you and the children. So you are out of the initial equation with God. God has his hands on the man. You were created out of his rib as a helpmate. That's what your job is you're there to assist. That's not demonizing you as a woman, because I've told people before, the power of femininity is very powerful, but a lot of women want to use feminism, and it's the weakest shit you can ever do. That's why y'all don't command the energy and the space that y'all need to, because y'all left femininity and grabbed onto this feminism, which is mixed in with masculine traits.
Yeah.
That's where y'all losing, because femininity, I talked about that before. The power of femininity, when you walk through the door and there's 1,000 dudes in the barber shop, if you are coming in that door with the power of femininity, every man is doing this.
Yeah.
To the door to open the door for you. If there's 10 seats and every guy's in the seat, all 10 guys are raising up to offer their seat to you. That's the power of femininity in a woman that understands her powers and how to maneuver in this world. So when you see women like that, it's a reason why men avoid women, which women perceive that as intimidation. And I land my plane.
Well said, Bobby Drake. What you got?
Hold on. Hold on. No. Just got my paycheck. Professor Bobby's in school now. We about to break some shit down. Hold on. Let me get collegiate on you mofos. Now, this is for you, babe. Ari. I know the right people can put this in your hands. And all the other heifers that's listening, come get you some game from Professor Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. First off, let's get into this. Worms attract fish, not cheeseburgers. I have never seen on any episode of Deadliest Catch or Bass Pro salmon or bass catching competitions, I've never seen anyone take a good old-fashioned Big Mac or Whopper Jr., slap it on a hook, toss it in the middle of a lake, and all of a sudden grouper and bass and salmon and trout are jumping into the boat. I've never seen it. Yeah. You have enlightened me. Worms attract fish. What is on your hook? If you as a woman can genuinely, truly, honestly say, no BS, no shenanigans, that you keep on attracting insecure men, I have to ask you, what is on your hook?
Facts.
What are you putting out there that is bringing them to you? Khalees told you that her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. You got a chocolate shake? You got a vanilla shake? What we doing? You have to answer that question. Men feel about women's accolades the way women feel about men's hobbies. It doesn't matter how much it matters to you, and if you really hang your hat on this, you're really proud of this, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. But you need to understand that has no bearing whatsoever on who you are as a person. A dude who is trying to talk to you, trying to get to know you, he is vetting you not based on your accolades. He can't do nothing with that. Your accolades do not make you a better person, a better mate, a better lover. It doesn't make you a better potential mother of his children. None of that. That feeds to my next point. Ladies, we have to talk about this. Your motive motors your manifestations. I know y'all like manifesting and all that stuff, so let me put it to you again. Your motive motors your manifestations. Your why is everything. It is great to see women accomplished. It is great to see women in high-powered careers as in the C-suite, making huge money, going ahead and being innovative. It is great to see that. I salute that all day, 24/7.
Yeah.
But you have to ask the question, why are you seeking these things? One of the reasons why women have such a big issue with men, they're intimidated because of this. Why don't they want me because of this? I have this and I'm a great catch. The reason a lot of you all, or one of the reasons you all get these things, are because you think it's going to make you a better person. Your degree will not make you a better human being.
Okay.
Your job title will not make you a better human being. You can have those things and be a great person. You can also have those things and be a pile of shit. That's entirely up to you. But if you're going to get these things because you're thinking it's going to make you whole or it's going to solve something that's broken within you, that's the problem. And so don't be surprised when men are saying, now be cool on that. We see all that. We going to take the secretary over here that ain't got nothing. It's not the accolades, it's you. You cannot overcompensate for improper structure. And this also goes back to who taught you how to play the game? Who gave you your internship? Who gave you your tutorial? Where did you get your insight that this was the way to attract proper men? That's another issue. Because you out here game goofy and you see what's going on with Ari there. She's sitting there amongst two chicken heads, and all two chicken heads are going to do is make another chicken head.
Come on now.
You're in Hogwarts for chicken heads. You need to cancel your membership immediately. If you are unhealthy and you have a busted up ego, your ego's going to tell you what that chicken head said before. Girl, just don't have nothing. That's a good way for it to get met. No. Your ego is telling you that in order to get a man, you have to choose. I got to either be accomplished or I have to be a bum. No. A healthy woman in her femininity with humility understands that there is balance in between, and I don't have to sacrifice. I can actually have it all.
Very well said. Very well said. Listen, you speak in the Lord's gospel, bruh. Listen, we got to get this together. Ladies, you got to stop trying to lure a basset hound with bean sprouts. Basset hounds don't eat bean sprouts.
They ain't vegan.
They ain't vegan, bro. And y'all keep trying to do this. And at the end of the day, it boils down to you just trying to be like men yet again. We don't want you for you trying to be like men. We want you for what makes you unique from men. Moving on into our next story, because it's a lot to cover today. Folks, this one took me out. Oh, my sweet baby Jesus. Brandy opens up on past relationship with Wanye Morris, says she was too young and taken advantage of. Oh, my God. What Kendrick say? Certified pedophile. You know what I'm saying? That's what, that's what's going right now, bro. I can't even, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And people get out here and they want to cop pleas for Wanye, and she just saying things just to sell books. That's what I'm hearing. And she lying. And some people saying, well, we already knew that. Nobody ever said anything. Man, I got the tape. What you want to do?
Wanye was banging Brandy.
Brandy.
He left you lonely, broken hearted.
Bro. No, I didn't actually leave her.
He was teaching Raggedy how to do videos.
Brandy even said to her behind the music that you broke her heart because you fell in love with somebody else.
I mean, you only fall in love with somebody. You only fall out of love with somebody else if somebody makes you fall out of love. Mm-hmm. So if that was the situation, if that's what she said, then
that's political. I like that.
I can't contest to her view about it. I can just only live by my view.
They were saying she was really young when y'all dated.
Yeah, she was. Not that young. Not
God,
not
jailbait.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why. That's why I stopped it.
The question
hold on. But that's why I stopped it and said that she wasn't that young, because I don't want y'all to think Boys to Men was no.
I was young too.
She said she was 15 and she had to keep it a secret because she was so young.
See, we did the thing. We did the thing when she was like 16, 17, around that time.
So you were still a boy too. You had.
I wasn't old. I wasn't
like
38 years old, nothing like that. I was old enough to. She was old enough to get it.
Okay, but was it legal in the state y'all was in?
I mean, we was always in different states. We was on tour.
They had a nomad relationship.
You know what I'm saying? We just, we didn't do it in the states that it was legal. It was illegal in.
Nice.
Gotcha.
So they didn't do it in the states that it was illegal in. So it's cool. Bruh, I wonder, do these niggas hear themselves when they're talking sometimes? Bruh, this is very damning, and it's going to leave a permanent stain on Wanye's record. Full disclosure, I met the guy one time. I said in my post that I made, his head was so big, I was surprised he could fit in the room. Yet his talent was undeniable. Extraordinarily talented brother. I still wished him well, even though, he came off as a bit of a jerk when I met him. You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, listen to how he's talking and in the room with a whole bunch of men and y'all laughing about him banging this underage girl. I mean, just kikiing and cockeying and you know, I'm not a big fan of Angela Yee, but you know, people wonder why she left the show, and then you see things like that, and it's kind of like, damn, bro, you know what I'm saying? Y'all looking crazy out here. He admits to messing with her when she was 16 or 17 years old, and he said she was old enough to get it. His words, not mine. This nigga was 22. Gang, what are we doing out here? Like, yo, I have no words for that. Like, he hadn't even come out and made a statement because he can't. Maybe she is sensationalizing it to sell a book. Maybe she's just telling her story. It's just the truth. You can't deny it. The point of the matter is, why does she even have it to say? That's the question. You understand? I made a post about this also. Like, hey, just, you know, some game for you game goofy niggas out there. When you do wrong, it can always come back to bite you in the ass. The objective is to not do wrong in the first place. That's part of what we were talking about just a minute ago, Bobby. Integrity. This is something that we're supposed to have. It's supposed to be innate to manhood. You just don't do things like that. And this backlash is going to be intense. I mean, I can see people refusing to buy concert tickets to go see Boyz II Men, or, you know, just doing a boycott. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that he's found some redemption and, you know, become a better person. But goddamn, he just joking about the shit openly. Like, it's cool. What in the entire hell? Go ahead, man. Talk me off the ledge, because that took me out.
Well, when you talk about they joking around in there and everybody chuckling, well,
Yeah.
let's examine the room. You had
Facts.
Charlemagne that raped his wife, right? Wasn't he under scrutiny for that for a long time?
Allegedly, you know, something went down, and some other girl too.
You had Yellow Beige Rage, who cheated on his wife.
Yeah.
You know, and he had to go through his shaming tactics on that. And then you have Angela Yee, who's, I look at her as an enabler. I know people always want to sit here and give her outs, but there's a lot of things that she done that she likes to throw rocks and hide her hands. She's not innocent either. She's a very big enabler, because if she really was against it, she would have been left the Breakfast Club long time ago.
Yeah.
She only left the Breakfast Club when she found out she actually got her show up and popping and was like, that's a good way to jump ship. But remember, there was a girl, I forgot what girl celebrity was on there. Was that K. Michelle that came on there and got in her ass about that? Like saying you were saying some funny shit and stuff like that. And I thought K. Michelle was gonna whoop her on the show. So you got to look at when you have people like that, and I'm pretty sure Wanye knows about that as well. You know, you're gonna feel comfortable because you're around people that can't really point their fingers at you, because you could point two back at them. So it's easy for you to joke around and have that situation. But when you're in a room full of people that you know are solid, that whole conversation would have went different. It would have been more remorse on his end than anything else. But when you don't have solid people around you, you're able to joke around like that and take that shit, you know, saying not for granted. I know people are getting mad at Brandy for coming out with her, but like you said, that's her story to tell. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people act like people want to take things to the grave. A lot of times people hold stuff in so they can't hold it in no more. She probably been wanted to say that off her chest. You know what I'm saying? And this was the time she felt like the need to say it, especially after the fact that you had Cameron and Shine already speaking on her about a relationship issue. And then this came out right afterwards.
Yeah.
So she's like, shit, I've been holding in a lot of stuff. Y'all ain't gonna make me look bad out here. Shit, I'm gonna make somebody look bad out here. And, you know, sad enough, it's Wanye, you know, and like you say, I put this on a post. The only person that can cause your demise is you. You own your shit. When people sat here and talked about 50 did this to Puffy, no, Puffy did that to himself. Because if Puffy never put himself in that situation, 50 wouldn't have a documentary to market and put out there.
Right.
And I land my plane on that.
I don't get what's up with all these weirdos defending these weirdos. I don't get that at all. And I hear you, and okay, you're comfortable because you're in a room full of scumbags, as it would seem. But at the same time, goofy nigga, do you not realize you're on a nationally syndicated radio show? That would be the kicker to me that would make this nigga shut the hell up.
Yeah, but that's you. But you got to understand, when people are comfortable, they don't see they forget the cameras are rolling.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Bobby Drake, what you got, gang?
I have, spoiler alert, bet you never saw this coming, I have a controversial take.
Okay.
And I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with this, and I'm well aware that this is going to probably lose me some fans, friends, what have you. That's okay.
Hold on, before you go any further.
Yeah.
Make sure there ain't no genius comment or no other comment. Just make sure that you're saying it correctly before you.
Yes. Go ahead, Bobby. Right. Get him.
Here's my thing. I want people to, not because I like him or care for him, because Wanya, never been a huge fan of his again. Talent, undeniable. Mm-hmm. In any instance, I never met him personally, but in all the instances where I've seen him, he always rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
And apparently that's not just me from what I've seen. Most people have had the take that you had, Major, at best. They thought he was arrogant or a bit of a jerk. Worst case scenario, people outright been disgusted by him or thought he was a complete asshole. Yeah. I have not seen anyone say one single solitary good thing about him other than his talent. Mm. And again, I'm not using that to bolster my own personal opinion about him, but I've just never seen anything to go against that. So when I say this, it's not because I like the guy or because I'm rooting for him, nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing. I believe two things are true at the same time. I believe that Brandy is indeed trying to use this for clout because she does have a book that was recently released. Okay. I certainly didn't hear anything about the book beforehand. It wasn't until this came out that was brought up. And even when Mason, Cam, and Shine were having their conversations about their interactions with her back in the day, I didn't hear anything about the book at that point either. It's not until this was mentioned that any of that even came out. With that being said, Brandy was, and I want to make sure I put things in their proper framing, Brandy was a stupid teenager. As are all teenagers.
Okay.
Even the brightest and most mature teenager is still a stupid teenager. That's part of the job description. That's why they're supposed to have parents and guardians in their lives who are responsible for them. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing. We're going to have to make some tough decisions regarding the concept of sexual abuse and pedophilia and ephebophilia because there's too much schizophrenia related to it. People don't know what they actually want. Wanya is foul for sexually abusing Brandy, and that's exactly what he did. Okay. Even if in the states, like you mentioned, where they were having relations, it was legal, 16. I understand that's what the law says. However, they were operating within the confines of the law. So that's an issue that needs to be taken up at a state level. We need to make it so that if this is wrong in certain states, it needs to be wrong across the board, number one.
Okay.
No, he wasn't a grizzled old man like R. Kelly. He was relative about what, a 4 or 5 year span in their ages. So he was an adult, 6 years. Regardless, he was old enough where he knew there was an issue and he knew that he had to move around in a behind the back manner.
Yeah.
But the problem I have, and the reason why I say people need to leave Wanya alone, is because this relationship was culturally sanctioned. Everybody knew that these two were involved with each other. The Norrises knew. Her parents were well aware that Brandy was involved with this grown-ass man.
Okay.
Her label head knew that she was involved with this grown-ass man. Mm-hmm. She and Adina Howard had beef. There was even songs being made back and forth, going at each other, fighting over Wanya. Everyone, even the fans knew that there was this huge age gap between these two. This was one of the worst kept secrets at that time. And even here on the Breakfast Club interview, you see that again. They're well aware that there's an age issue, and it's kiki ha 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 ha. If everyone knew back then that this was going on and it was fine, no one thought that this was something that should have been reported or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone now trying to go ahead and bring out the pitchforks and torches saying that we need to go ahead and vilify Wanya. No. The culture decided socially and legally that this ain't a problem. They had the blessing of her parents. Nobody saw this as wrong. I don't want to hear anything about this now. We need to make a decision. Is pedophilia and ephebophilia wrong or ain't it? Because some of the same people that want to demonize Wanya now that it's being framed differently and they want to save face have pedophiles and ephebophiles in their own family that they say nothing about. Instead of reporting them to the police and getting them busted, they just simply say, don't let so-and-so hang over there with them after a certain time, or don't leave the kids over there, where you can't see it. Either we're cracking down this, like I said, I know that everyone's not going to gravitate to it, but my stance is this: make a decision. I know what my stance on it is, so I'm cool, but I don't want to see no wishy-washy. Well, we want to call it out when it's Wanya now because that's what the tide is turning to, but other people are not going to say anything. Is it wrong or ain't it? There should not be any line that people are jumping back and forth on. That's my take on it.
I think I get what you're saying. I think you're saying your argument is not so. It's Wanya is still wrong, clearly.
Oh, to me, he's wrong.
He's wrong. Wrong is wrong. But the broader argument I think that you're making, it sounds like to me, is at the people.
Correct.
You're calling out the people for being fickle, which I can get behind 1,000%. It wasn't an issue to y'all niggas then, and you knew, but now it's an issue to you. You understand?
Same with R. Kelly. Now, R. Kelly is a much more egregious example.
Right.
The same with R. Kelly. Everyone knew and it was cool. Boondocks pointed out. Everyone was still just shrugging it off. Now, white people say it's bad. Now, all of a sudden, this is terrible. Nigga, I just saw you over there bumping the damn music.
No, asking for tickets to his concert. But this is the thing. The reason why, yes, I agree with that point where you call out the people for their inconsistency and them being fickle and them being full of shit or whatever, but what's wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so to broaden that argument, yeah, the people we need to be on code as a people in calling out wrong across the board when it happens. That's the larger argument. I definitely can agree with that and get behind that.
Yeah, but then you go into something deep. Then you go into something deeper as far as, okay, so then we should be calling out Jay-Z.
Yeah,
he had
Foxy.
Absolutely.
He had Foxy, and he married Beyonce.
Agreed.
He married Beyonce. She was 16. So because he married, we should let it slide. If we
a lot of people still don't know that, but yes, you're correct.
We'll see now, according to the cult, because again, we talk about what's culturally sanctioned and what's not. According to the culture, you a hater. You wants to bring a black man down.
Yeah,
and if Beyonce ain't got a problem, what's the problem? But now again, if the right person brings it up, now all of a sudden it's going to be Jay-Z's terrible. I can't believe this. Here's the thing: it is not possible to enforce the law if it does not apply across the board.
I totally agree.
Now, we understand that we live in a system of white supremacy, and that means we live in a system of injustice. However, according to we the people, we cannot have our moral compasses compromised. It's either right or it's wrong. When it comes to protecting our children, there cannot be any wishy-washy. So, God forbid, let me not even use one of y'all. If Michael goes out now, he's 28 years old, and starts a relationship with a 16-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
But Jay-Z, like you mentioned, Jay-Z, he's 28 years old, does the same thing with Beyonce.
Yeah.
So Michael gets persecuted to the full extent of the law. He gets demonized and vilified. But because he don't put out hits like Jay-Z, Jay-Z's left alone. We can't have it that way. It's either wrong or it's not wrong. There cannot be, it has to go across the board for there to be justice, because in that case, it's not justice now; it's bullying.
Yeah, but then it goes back to what you're saying. We got to change the laws across the whole nation for 18 and up, because if a state say it's legal and 16, then what can you do? And especially if a lot of what people don't realize and don't take in consideration, when it says 16, it also says with consent of the parents.
Right.
So you
And
also
based
could
on
go.
that, Wanya is completely legally justified.
So they also got 14-year-olds as long as it's sent off with the parents. And that's why the whole R. Kelly thing never got as big as it was, because when you saw the documentary, the parents got paid off by R. Kelly. And they also, I think, went to Canada. Did they go to Canada or some state where it was legal for 15 to get, because it's talking about the whole marriage thing or something like that with Aaliyah and R. Kelly.
I'm not sure.
There's a whole lot of stuff that they did working on the legal loopholes that exist. But that's another thing too. Again, so all these people who are in an outrage now about Wanya and the newly christened R. Kelly haters and all the other people that get activated, are we going to see this turn into a groundswell of support to get these Romeo and Juliet laws, as they call them, nixed? Are we going to do that now? Or are we?
That needs to happen.
Because again, the outrage being stoked to take down people when we feel like it is not sufficient. Take that and make it actually mean something. Because again, otherwise, I'm going to say it again, if you are not serious about stamping out pedophilia and ephebophilia, all you are doing is signing up to be a booster for bullying. We don't like this person today, let's take them down. That person's cool, let's leave them alone. 3 weeks from now, I don't like this person, now let's go after them. It can't work. It can't be that way. It can't be that way.
I can see the logic in what you're saying. I definitely do, because we do like to pick and choose who we want to apply justice to. But my argument before I even speak is always on the side of justice. I'm not one of those people, in other words. I didn't know, what was up with a lot of these folks. I did know what was up with Wanya and Brandy. I called them out back then. I still call them out today. But the wishy-washiness of the general populace is a problem. Yeah, I'm very consistent. Y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very consistent to a fault sometimes, but that is how we got to be. That does make sense. But at the same time, when we find out, that nigga still need to be called out. He still need to be nailed to the fucking cross. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I disagree with. When we find out, that nigga, like everybody else, got to go. You know what I'm saying? And then subsequently after that, we got to change the laws and do that type of shit. Go ahead, Ant, real quick.
And you got to also understand that there are laws out there that hold enablers accountable too. And I think I gave out 4 of them last time we was on last week's program. So y'all go check that out.
That's something else too. If we're going to take down Wanya, and I'm all for that, are we also going to take down the Norwoods that you enabled this? Are we going to take down these other people?
Come on now. We'll see. That's another problem.
Are we going Rico or nah? What's up?
She don't call out her own family, and we know that they knew. So that is also a very valid argument. I don't have no patience for none of these motherfuckers. They all need to be locked under the jail some damn way. And I'm gonna stand.
That's my point. That's my whole point. Thank you.
That's what it is. So let's go ahead and get into this. It's so much to get into. Man, when I watch what's going on in these social media streets and the type of nonsense that people say, it gets me triggered. You understand? Check this out.
And now it's time for trending celebrity news. Take it away, fellas.
Preferences when it comes to dating, or are you an equal opportunity barker?
Yes, now I am.
But before, what was...
I think I had kind of turned a little blind eye to the black guys for a little while.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they were at the time, they were the group that I felt hated me the most, that I would get the most unlove from.
So you had a penchant for light-skinned men?
Oh, I do like me a light-skinned man.
Oh, still?
Still.
You like a powerful man?
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive?
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch?
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife?
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are 2 different images that come into my head.
Absolutely not. I don't know how you don't. Man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, you are crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
The jokes just write themselves. I mean, for crying out loud, fellas, what are you going to do? Leslie Jones doesn't believe in marriage. You understand? Like, please don't jump. If you're on the ledge right now, please don't jump. Leslie Jones.
I think there's vodka in this. I swear it was spring water, but that might be vodka, tequila, or something. I don't know.
Bruh, it don't make no damn sense. You know, for one, for me, I'm sick of people getting out here, these radical feminist buffoons getting out here and trivializing slavery and comparing marriage to slavery. Do you stupid motherfuckers understand the horrors of slavery? And every time I turn around, some idiot is comparing marriage to slavery simply because you're expected to do household chores? How in any possible way is that akin to slavery? I'm married right now. You know what? I've done a ton of shit for my wife. I pick up the damn laundry and take it into the business or whatever. You know, I painted the garage. I hang up Christmas lights. I pick up the trash from the yard. I take the trash outside to the yard. I guess I'm a slave.
Yeah, you better get divorced right. Hey, no.
It's two things that really piss me off about this. The way they dismiss marriage as slavery somehow, which is one of the most coonish things I've ever heard anyone do. That pretty much certifies to me that you are a coon when I hear you do that. And number two, you know, just this need to have to attack marriage just because of something that, quite honestly, let's just keep it a buck. You failed at. Leslie Jones has been telling us for 10 years that men didn't like her. They thought she was ugly and she was too big, and I tend to agree with them. But the point of the matter is, now you want some sour grape shit. You want to come back and talk down on marriage and shit on marriage, and I was never gonna be nobody's wife, and this, that, and the third. Before just a few years ago, you was looking for a man. Now all of a sudden, marriage is an issue, you know, and I'm seeing this more and more with these over the hill, overweight, unattractive women that just don't have much to offer to the dating market. The bottom of the barrel. Instead of just going and buying you a cat and sitting the fuck down and eating your food, you feel like it's necessary to come out here and attack those of us that are actually happy, those of us that are actually in healthy relationships, and those of us that are in marriages. And I don't appreciate that shit. And I'm just so tired of seeing Leslie Jones with her ugly ass get out here and act like a damn coon. Just coon on demand. Because I don't know if this buffoon realizes this. What she is doing is damaging the community. People getting married, having children, that's called family. When you have enough families, you have something called a community. When you have enough communities, you have something called a nation. You understand? We're in unison. We move together. The reason why we're splintered off like we are now is because there's no family structure. And here you have this buffoon yet again attacking marriage. Melissa Ford, stupid ass, attacking marriage. What's the other one? Ari Lennox, low key, attacking marriage, attacking relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole, you know, radical feminist ideology among Black women, where in the Black community, marriage is needed the most. We need each other, dumbass. And you out here just attacking marriage openly, telling young women not to marry and doing it with a smile. What is wrong with these goofy ass people? Bruh, my head exploded when I saw that. And then you got the woman on, and they're doing it like it's satire, but it's not really satire. It's not funny at all. You know, then the other woman there with the clown makeup, she's just asking these dumbass questions, and Leslie's responding in this cynical way, and it was just not a good look. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, what did y'all think of that? I was disgusted, bro. I was repulsed.
That was planned, because if you're in a room with a woman that really, really is about marriage and life and family structure, she would have had more questions and statistics to debunk all that bullshit that Lisa Jones was saying.
Right.
So you already know that was planned. It was
Of
just
course.
something. It's always a hit piece out there against men. Another
And
thing
marriage.
that I don't like is the fact that women, when you guys say this, and she's not the first woman I heard say that about comparing marriage to slavery, you are spitting on the face of the ancestors that went through slavery.
Yes.
That's not a fucking comparison to make. That shit is very fucking disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised anybody that understands history is not out here getting in her ass about that.
Right.
That's not something you joke about.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? And this comparison that a lot of women are making in that, it's very sickening and disgusting to me. Do y'all fellas know what the number one agenda in the whole world with the people who run the country? Do you know their number one agenda?
To destroy the black community? That's
No.
what it seems like.
I'm saying no. What's the agenda? Overall agenda. The number one agenda for the people running the world.
Depopulation.
Their number one mission.
Depopulation.
Depopulation, yeah, probably.
Depopulation.
That's one of them.
Exactly. Once people understand that population control is the number one agenda worldwide based on the people running the world, you'll understand why they promote all this separation and destructure of the family structure. Because they don't want you guys to reproduce. They don't want you to have a solid foundation. So they pay money and these creators to go out here and spew this type of shit. And a lot of people are eating this shit up like it's gold. And all it is the most craziest, vile shit you could ever listen to and go ahead and participate in. You got to understand what the agenda out there is and go against the grain, because this is not helping our community and our people. These are the type of stuff that have us continuously in gender wars. Y'all women always complain about gender wars, but yet y'all promote shit like this. That is one of the pivotal points of a gender war. You know, I love my black women. My black women love me. You know what I'm saying? And I rock with the black women that love black men. I don't rock with black women like this that get on platforms and say what they say to demonize men. And like I said it before, and I land my plane on this, it's always the motherfuckers at the bottom of the barrel, the last motherfucker to get picked on the basketball court that always got the most to say about what it's like you're trying to shame somebody into dating you, and it's not working. I'll land my plane.
Sour grapes. That's what it is, 100%. You know, when you look like a damn mud duck and you ain't got nothing going for you and you didn't hit the wall 15 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, if you're not attractive, whatever the case may be, work on yourself. You know, they always got every other solution but to work on themselves. And like you said, and yes, they always bitching and whining about the gender wars. But when it's one of them saying this type of nonsense to fuel the gender wars, they ain't got nothing to say. They want to cancel Chili for making some donations to Donald Trump, but you don't want to cancel this ass clown for coming out here and literally attacking the black family.
Hey, did you peep game on she did colorism?
Oh yeah, that's another thing I'm glad you brought that up.
I saw all that.
Man, yeah. Oh, of course I prefer light-skinned men. If a man would have said that,
not only that. Wait. Hold on. Take it back about half a step.
Yeah.
Not just that, but did you hear the way she was bucking as soon as she asked, oh yeah. Not just they're my preference, or it was like, oh yeah. It's like she couldn't wait to say, yeah.
And she stopped dealing with black men for a while.
So is she really?
If she asked white men, she probably would have snapped her neck to go ahead and nod like a seal.
So think about it, right? Is she really out there looking for the men? Because it looked like she might be looking for a certain men, and the men that really want to vibe with her, she don't like.
I mean, who's really checking for Leslie Jones? Let's just be real.
Listen, Gabby Cinnabay got a motherfucker, so I know she could get somebody.
Listen, and she's paying for his whole lifestyle.
It don't matter.
Whose list? Let me put it like this: whose list is Leslie Jones at the top of? I'll wait.
Somebody's on there. There's the fucking 4 billion men in this world. She can find somebody. It's motherfuckers out here cleaning fat 600-pound women's asses out here. So shit, there's no excuse.
I mean, my God,
it's you. It's you, Leslie. It's you.
It's you. Yeah, 1000% you. Because as hideous as I may feel that she is, and not just because of her face, but just because of who she is. If she were a more pleasant person, I probably wouldn't even have that disposition about her. You understand what I'm saying? But because of the way this is not the first time she's attacked men or marriage or any of that. She's done this a number of times. So she's like becoming the go-to coon for this behavior. You understand? And it's like, bruh, we already don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And here you go. Go ahead, Bobby. What you got, man? Goddamn.
Look, I want to put this on the record. Understand something. When Bobby Drake wants Leslie Jones's opinion, he will give it to her. In no uncertain terms, written verbatim on the teleprompter. I will give her opinion when I want it.
Yeah.
If I ain't asked for it, that's because I don't want it. And a damn sure ain't gonna be related to this subject. I don't even know why I'm even discussing marriage in the first place. This whole production brought to you by the letter B for bullshit is from a woman that nobody even wants to be associated with dicking down.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Several, I can't recall how long ago it was, but at least several months ago, this is the same woman that was complaining that she's basically getting banged out in back rooms by her non-black colleagues, but nobody's actually bothering to go ahead and settle down and actually make an honest woman out of it. No one actually wants to commit to her, but the non-black dudes are willing to go ahead and smut her out.
Yeah.
But black men are the problem, you see.
Yeah.
You always felt that you got the most unlove from black men. Okay, so when bottom shelf Brad is out here and shooting up the club, whatever he's doing to you, and just dismissing you, no, that's not unlove. But black men saying, "Nah, we don't really check with you like that," that's unlove. Okay, interesting. So we see who the preference actually is. So you're mad that your preference ain't hollering at you. And when you try to come back and bring your nasty, sloppy thirds, fourths, and fifths to us, we ain't checking for you either. That's the real issue. Most women who are considered recreational use only fight to be the woman who gets to take in at IHOP at 3 p.m, not just 3 a.m. Leslie can't get to IHOP at 3 a.m. She can't get IHOP DoorDash to her at 3 o'clock in the morning. What are we talking about? What is actually happening?
Bruh.
So you think that you're qualified to speak on marriage? No, ma'am. Where do you get the audacity?
That's the thing.
Way beyond your scope. You are nowhere even remotely in danger of becoming a subject matter expert on that. You need to be quiet. And I keep saying this, when it comes to the arena of relationships, I don't care if you're male or female, if you have unresolved baggage and trauma, if you have some wounds, if somebody hurt you and you never probably got the scars mended or whatever, shut your raggedy ass up. Take yourself out of the conversation. There is absolutely no value that you contribute to it. None.
Yeah.
Tell me right now, dismiss everything I said for the last couple minutes. Right now, just based off of that clip, what actual use or good or value did she contribute to the topic of relationships?
None.
What insight did she give on how to make proper, whole, intact relationships? How to make a marriage work? How to go ahead and vet? What actual positive contribution did she make? None. Even if you don't like what we said, even if you feel like we're being harsh and beating down on her, listen to what she said. Answer the question, please. How did she positively contribute to the topic at hand? It was a net negative. Please go heal. And once you're good, you're back to healthy and normal, please, by all means, come back to the conversation. We would love to have you. But if you're hurt, if you've been on the wrong side of love one time too often, please, for the love of God, shut your mouth. Because we see you. It's not a fluke that the people who keep on having something negative to say are the ones who publicly and historically have not been on the right side of it ever. And one last thing real quick, because I want to touch on what she said. I'm glad she said that. Fortunately, she's too stupid to recognize when her lips are moving. So that means that she gives away a whole bunch of game that she's not supposed to. I appreciate how she said that her father was the one who jacked her up and told her that XYZ, that marriage is what it was. I appreciate that. She's too stupid to lie like that. She's being honest. These fathers that happen to be in their daughters' lives and do all kind of nonsense to gunk up their brains. Well, I'm not going to teach a woman to depend on a man. I'm going to raise you to be independent of a man. You are the worst. Your daughter would have actually been better off if you were not in the life. Maybe she would have stumbled and ran into somebody else that could have given her the right game, and she'd have been open to it because she knows there's a lack. But unfortunately, because you were in her life, unfortunately, she trusts daddy. So she's not going to go ahead and steer away from what daddy told her because daddy loves her. Daddy's the only man that's ever loved her in life. So, of course, he can't be steering her astray. Y'all niggas need to get your nuts cut off.
It's ridiculous, bro. I mean, this is hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? This is hard to watch. People are so gone. They just kind of get out here and say and do anything. They don't realize how much they're harming the community. Man. On the surface, you have the feminist bird babble, and that annoys me too. But it's so many other layers to this that bother me about this insect and, you know, what she's allowing herself to be used as. Yet another black woman allowing themselves to be used as an enemy of black society against the community. I don't like that shit, bro. I'm sick of it.
I do want to say this. She also said something about her father told her this and all her messed up dating experiences. You can't follow somebody who don't have good examples. Y'all gotta, if somebody don't have good examples, they're gonna lead you into not having good examples too. So be very wary about the background of some of these people that's giving you advice.
All game ain't good game.
And shout out to, I will say this much, shout out to the sisters. And I attribute this more to it being Leslie Jones saying this than it being someone else. I think that it's because of the fact that they don't really like Leslie Jones that much to begin with, but they dragged the shit out of her ass in them comments. Black women they said the same shit. I know, right? Shout out to y'all, sis. They dragged the dog shit out of Leslie Jones.
When you see the ops, you treat the ops like the ops. That's how it's supposed to be.
Is. That's what it is. You know, I didn't hear any calls for canceling her, that's what I would have hoped for. But they definitely did criticize the hell out of her. And basically they concluded the same thing that we did. Okay, you couldn't catch because of very obvious things. And so now you want to go ahead and bang on all the other women or whatever. Because what she's doing low key is she's shading women who are married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a slave. You're a slave to a man. And so therefore you're not a real woman. You know, you're not to be taken seriously. You know, you're participating in this institution that's rigged against women. Fuck out of here with your goofy ass, man. Anyway, so on to today's story. This one took me out. It was such a long interview. I couldn't get all the parts that I wanted, but I thought that this was very, very interesting. Listen to this scoundrel. And just she tries to come off as so, you know, together and so progressive or whatever. And at the end of the day, she's just another foaming at the mouth feminist that detests men. And she also attacks marriage in this clip, low key. Listen to this. How you get washed by Cam Newton? Kendra G with your goofy ass.
Somebody listen to you.
Oh, because I have the data to support anything that I say.
Okay.
I know some people just learned of me from my single show that I started 6 years ago. But like I said, I am a 25-year plus television and radio journalist. There's things that I know now that I did not know 6 years ago. I wouldn't even spoke on it. You know, I always knew, kind of like you, kind of like most people.
Right.
We know our reality, right? So I literally have done a case study. I have talked to more than 16,000 single people. I have 4 weddings this year, all because of my platform. More than 20 people have gotten married from my platform. I haven't given birth to a baby, but there's children on this planet because of the platform. But I want to reset and give that to God. So anything I say, it's supported with data. It's supported with doing research. A lot of times when people read numbers, they read statistics. Well, I'm the one that collected the information so you can have the statistic.
So that's why somebody should listen to you?
Well, how about this? You don't have to listen. So I understand what you're saying. If you don't have to take what I say, because at the end of the day, it's your life. So you can do what you want with it. But if I'm going to join the conversation, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we're in a space and content that everybody has something to say about something.
Okay.
And I think the question or the head scratcher sometimes is, what gives you the right to bring people together? Are you married?
I'm not married.
Have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
Have you been engaged?
I have been engaged. But before you go any further, what's the name of my show? It's called Kendra G Singles.
Yeah.
It's not called Kendra G Married. It's not called Kendra G Relationship. How I even got birth is because I'm single. And I'm media trained, so it doesn't seem like there's an art to it, but there's an art to it. So if everybody could do it, they would.
So dating is to stay single? Or to get
No, I think dating, I think life is a journey, right? But single is becoming a lifestyle choice for some. When you date, that's the whole purpose of dating. You find someone that you might match with and you might stay long with, or you grow from and you go. There was a time when women couldn't even get jobs, couldn't get bank accounts. You know, all men could get a woman because it was survival. We didn't have a choice. That time has changed because women now, we're able to have voices. We're able to have jobs. We're able to support ourselves. So dating has changed. And everyone that's met from my show, they would tell you, if it wasn't for this platform, we would have never met because it launches you out to the world. What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
In a relationship.
Okay, so I've been in relationships. I'm single right now, but what does that have to do with hosting a single show?
It has nothing to do with it.
Then why do we keep bringing up married and...
No.
Okay.
The conversation
question
was asked, why should people listen to you?
I will say this, you have the free will. You don't have to listen to me, right? I hear what you're saying. I don't walk away from it. I stand on a married person could not be successful with hosting my show.
So I made sure I ended that little montage off there with how she says she stands on it that a married person could not host her show. Cam Newton, I give him more credit than I used to give him before because he caught her ass on that. He asked, okay, well, you know, do you plan at some point on getting married or whatever? Sure, I plan on getting married. Okay, when you got married, do you plan to continue hosting your show? Well, absolutely. I would never stop hosting my show. You just told me that a married person couldn't host your show. I mean, he made her look like an absolute moron. And at the end of the day, just some of my favorites, the greatest hits from that particular reel. Cam Newton must have asked her like 5 or 6 times, why should people listen to you? Which is a very simple question. But Kendra G, in her self-aggrandizement and trying to make herself look bigger than she is, her big-headed ass just took the shit and ran with it. I can answer the question better than Kendra, goddammit. Why should people listen to you? Because people really shouldn't listen to me. She ended up actually saying that at one point. People don't have to listen to me. People really shouldn't listen to me. I created a platform for people to meet each other. That's all the fuck she had to say. There is no reason to listen to Kendra G because Kendra G don't offer no fucking advice. Kendra G don't know how to keep a man, don't know how to acquire a relationship, don't know how to get married, clearly because she never has done it. And it made me laugh because she keeps dancing around. Every time Cam asks the question, she keeps dancing all over the place like she don't know what the fuck Cam is asking her. He's asking her very clearly, okay, like, what are your credentials to because Cam clearly doesn't watch the show that much. From what I gather, Cam is inferring that she's kind of like what's the other name? The like Bryant chick, like a Cheyenne Bryant or like a Kevin Samuels. Those type. Oh God, I can't believe I just compared those two. But the point of the matter, I'm not equating them, but they both give advice. Is my point. One gives horribly bad advice. One gives good advice. But that's, to me, Cam is looking at her like that, and she's not like that. So instead of just the fuck saying that, look, I had a big platform. I do commend her for starting this during COVID when everybody was kind of in the house and depressed and all that shit. And she was creating a way for people to meet each other and, maybe start something romantic. That's cool. I salute that. But that's really all it is, because she's talking all this time about how, it seems easy, but there's an art to it. And, not just anybody could do this job, and a married person could definitely not do this job. What is it about these women that makes them think that they're somehow superior to married people because they're single? I think a married person would do a much better job at what she does or attempts to do, because they have the knowledge and the wherewithal, having been successful in finding marriage. When Kendra does give advice here and there, it's because of the people in the audience that taught her something. Kendra was green as fuck when she came in here. She's still green about a lot of shit. She doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground.
But you're lying. She just told. We all saw it, Major. She just told Kim and everybody else that she's media trained.
Bruh,
she's a journalist.
My show is called Kendra G Singles, not Kendra G Married. What the fuck is she talking about? What? And so Cam asked at one point, so dating is to stay single? Because she's not making sense. The end goal of dating, for all you morons out there that are dating, is marriage, damn it. It's really simple as that. But because she don't want the sisterhood coming for her, and she said something good about marriage and she bigging up marriage. Imagine you run a fucking dating show and you can't even acknowledge that the goal is marriage. Get the fuck out of here, man. You can't be serious. Bird City, bro. Bird City.
Can I serve two masters?
And I like that she, in her being inartful with her words, I love the fact that she made a very clear point that dating changed because women have their own money. That's the alpha and the omega as far as I'm concerned, because women have their own money and women are acting brand new because they have their own money. That's the long and short of it. Kevin Samuels called that shit. Now Kendra G is co-signing the same thing. And so if we can get women to start acting normal again, instead of trying to act like they're special just because they're adults and they got their own damn money, I think we would come very far in the dating realm right now. You know what I'm saying? And the question that blew me, what does being married have to do with hosting a single show? Bruh, she really asked that question. She just as much bird as some of these roach-infested people that call into her show. Go ahead, man. My God.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with it, because if you're married and you're having success behind it, people would want to gravitate to your platform even more because they know that you have something there that is beneficial to them that they can use. But when people are seeing you fail relationship after failed relationship, and then on top of that, you came out with your show right around I wouldn't say right around the same time, but you and Kevin Samuels pretty much had an encounter because you started up your show around that time, and then you came on Kevin Samuels' show and he kind of put you in your place. You ain't like it. Then you went to your platform and then started talking about how he's too harsh and this and that. When that man passed away, you took that man's whole playbook and you ran with it and build your platform.
With
That
no
to me
apology or
is some
acknowledgement
fucked
either.
up shit that she did.
I can
You know what
agree
I'm
with that.
saying?
I agree.
And that to me showed me what type of person she was when I seen that. And then you even had there are people on her platform that actually called her out on it and said, "You're acting just like Kevin Samuels."
Yeah.
No, what the
So-
thing was is she started to realize the reality that Kevin Samuels was giving her. She never saw it till she had to put herself in Kevin Samuels' position with that platform and start seeing it firsthand. And then it became overwhelming because then she starts saying these women are acting so fucking delusional and this and that. And she's starting to be more combative on her platform with people because she's like, hey, you're not going to get no man acting like this. But then the women turn right back around and say, well, you can't keep a man. And now, you know, where's your validity on that? So it says a lot when you can create something and you stand behind it. It's so much more powerful than you coming out here trying to use people to get a cash cow, because what you are doing is basically you don't care about people really getting married or anything like that. You just want to develop this app and make money off of people, giving them hope of trying to find somebody. When you talk about she tried to make it a flex with Cam talking about, oh, I got 4 weddings this year to go that I got people married off of my platform. Yeah, but if you got let's say over 20 million people watching your platform and you only got 4 weddings for a year, dog, you got a better chance of winning the lotto than getting married on your show. Those 4 numbers don't mean nothing. That anybody could do. Anybody could create something and say, oh, I got people married like that. Now, when you have somebody like Kevin Samuels that had a whole group and motherfuckers is getting married damn near every week or hooking up every week, that's a whole different success story than you just throwing stuff out there and then 2 people say, oh yeah, we like each other, and then now you get credit for that. That doesn't do anything. So I really don't like Kendra G. She's full of shit, and I'm glad that Cam exposed what that was and what it looks like. And I'll land my plane on that.
Yeah, I actually had forgotten about that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. She did download Kevin Samuels' entire damn program, from the questions that he asked. The only thing is she just made it, she hyper focused on the singles and called it a dating app. But he did the same exact thing. It was more of an advice type of thing. You understand what I'm saying? But it's no difference. She just basically downloaded this man's whole shit after he died, and he couldn't do it no more. Yeah, that's foul, bro. That's foul. You ain't told no lie. Go ahead, Bobby Drake. What you got, man?
Kendra should have been a student of the game, because if she would have actually made a point to actually go ahead and do some homework and actually check out Cam's previous interviews, she would have learned how to avoid all this right then and there. All she had to do was just watch the Cheyenne Bryant episode, and she would have realized, okay, just show some legs, show some thighs, show some cleavage. This nigga gonna do nothing but throw me some softball passes. That's all. Because Kendra's not an ugly woman. She's actually physically, I'd say she's pretty relatively physically attractive. Very nice face. Decent body.
Her ego.
If she would have shown the public, her ego ain't touching Cheyenne Bryant's.
No, her ego.
Because Cam,
she got an ego, bro.
No, she got an
ego, bro.
Oh no, yes, she. Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm talking about Cheyenne's is out the wazoo as well too.
I think
but
she has
the thing
more
is, if
ego
she
than
played
Cheyenne.
to her, Cheyenne masks it better. That's what it is.
You might be right. Okay,
she masks it, but trust me, that thing is on 10. Kendra doesn't have the finesse, thank God, that Cheyenne does, but it's there. They're definitely fellow travelers. But with the kind of person Cam is, if she would have had the cleavage showing and she would have made the presentation right, Cam wasn't going to ask her none of them hard questions, because the way he grilled her is how he should have grilled Cheyenne. That's what we should. If you really want to get a lot of juice out of the orange, he should have done that with her, because there was a lot to go around. Kendra did the right thing and had herself looking presentable, and as a result, he was free to focus on the actual interviewing and actually get a really decent interview out of her. Very well done. The thing about Kendra is she doesn't realize that we can see her. That's the problem. She thinks she's just so intelligent and just so ahead of that she just slick talk her way out of it. Ma'am, you have a gross overestimation of your capabilities and your execution.
Mm-hmm.
You're not who you think you. I know you think you're her. You are not her, man. One day maybe you could become her, but you ain't her. And that's her biggest issue because she's trying to go ahead and make these forays. And Kendra, I will tip my hat to the level of success that she's had thus far. I'm not going to take that away from her. But she's, if anything, an example of why it's so important where if you have an idea, if there's a business you want to start, it's when they say it's more important to get started than to get perfection. She's the example of that. There are people out there that could do 12 times as good a job as her with some actual results who are married and everything else. The problem is they're just sitting back because they're trying to get all the I's dotted properly, the T's crossed. They're trying to make sure everything's perfect to launch. Yeah. And here you have this stumbling, bumbling buffoon. She ain't halfway as polished, but because she got started, she got to it. Ladies and gentlemen, don't wait for perfection. Go ahead and get started. You can iron out the creases on the go. Kendra G is an example of how you can actually elevate yourself if you just have faith in yourself and go forward. But Kendra ain't got nothing to give anybody. She can't make it work for herself. And the biggest issue she has, this actually also ties into some of the other ladies that we've talked about as well earlier.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is the lack of self-awareness and the lack of humility. If you are coming up short, it's okay to say that you're coming up short. It's okay to not have it all together. That's fine. You're human. Yeah. Nobody reasonable is expecting perfection out of anybody. But when you're so fixated on trying to cover up your flaws and make it seem like you don't have any shortcomings, and so you want to go ahead and masquerade like, no, it's not me. It can't be me. It's got to be something else. Oh, it's not that I need to get better and become a better woman. It's, marriage is terrible. Marriage is slavery. I don't want to get married. Oh, no, I'm perfectly qualified for this. So, married people could do the show. You have to be single. No, it is perfectly fine. Like you said, to just say, well, no one has to listen to me, but, I just have some insight. And if you find it useful, you find it useful. People will rock with you for that. People will have more trust and faith in you.
I could respect that. Even though you stole Kevin Samuel's whole blueprint, I could still respect that. Hey, I got a big platform and I got some insights because of stuff that I learned. That's it. That was the answer.
You will not take an L from shining like the other people. Even with that, if she would have simply say, you know what, me and Kevin got into it, but I realized I saw the light. Once I got started doing this, I realized and recognized he had a lot of good points. Her following would have quintupled off of that because people can respect that.
Right.
I had a huge conversation with some people the other day about that. Can't stand a mofo that can't say I don't know or I'm not sure. But they want to pump up their chest and say, oh well, if you're trying to get here, you got to go here, make a left, make a right turn, and then it's right by the Burger King. And you get there, it's like this mofo done steer me into a trap house.
And that
by
is what
saying I don't know or I'm not sure or I don't have all the answers, but you know what? Let's find out together. People will have more respect for you and they will trust you because they know that even if you give them some bad advice, they know, number one, it was not intentional. Number two, they know that they can count on you to go ahead and accept accountability for it. And number three, they can recognize, well, you know what? This person, they apologize. They're willing to go ahead and make up for it. I can work with this person. But when you show that you were willing to sacrifice any and everything just for the sake of your image.
And also just the simple willingness to be able to say, I got this game from somewhere else. Let me tell you, that's one of the reasons that I really rock with Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed will go out of his way to tell you where he learned something. Yep. I learned this from Neely Fuller. I learned this from Frances Cress Welsing. I learned this from. I'm not a leader. I learned these things from people. I just package it a different way and I present it the way I present it, put my own spin on it. But he always talks about the people who mentored and taught him.
Mm-hmm.
That is, but that requires humility.
Exactly.
And as we just stated, Kendra G don't have a shred of humility in her body, and neither does Cheyenne Bryant or some of these other
no integrity. It's not even just that. It's a lack of integrity. Period. They'll steal. They'll lie. They'll manipulate. There is no corner that they will not cut if they think it's going to advance them ahead. And you can't rock with people like that. Look, true, legitimate, honest to God invention, something brand new, never before seen, that is rare and difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you see people out here who are legitimate inventors, I invented this or I came up with this, that is rare and that should be applauded. Mm-hmm. Most products that are out there, most concepts, most businesses are not brand new. 90% of them are not. Yeah. Before Netflix came along, you had Blockbuster. They just took it to the next step, or they just found a new wrinkle on it. You can definitely go ahead and take Kevin Samuel's blueprint and run with it and just put a twist on it and make it your own.
Sure.
And you can even let him know, hey, that this is an evolution or this is another dimension of what he had going on or whatever. You're not going to lose anything for that. If what you are putting out there is valuable, that's what matters. There's no reason to lie and fake the funk.
So many more dudes, men in particular, would have really rocked with her. She'd have been like, man, I learned the game from Kevin. This is the truth. She ain't going to say it, so I'm going to say it for her. I'm going to say it for her. I learned the game from Kevin Samuels, you know, and I started doing something similar to what he was doing. I put my own spin on it, but, you know, I don't give advice often, but if I were to say, why should people listen to me? It's because of the things that I've learned from the people I've talked to and from Kevin Samuels. Dudes would have been like, oh, hell yeah, we rock with Kendra. She would have increased her wealth tenfold, like you said. Oh, yeah. She don't have the wherewithal to do that because everything has to be all about her.
She's drenched in ego. That ego is off the damn chart. If that was a tumor, she'd already be at stage 5 cancer. She would forget stage 4. She'd be stage 5.
And this is the thing. You ask any modern woman, and they'll tell you that men are intimidated by their success and they're intimidated by how wonderful they are. They never tell you about the things that we're talking about. The fact that she's so big-headed, her ego is so overblown. She's so unknowledgeable. She don't really give no advice on nothing, you know, but she's good for what she's good for. She don't acknowledge that. She always got to blow herself up and make herself into more than what she is.
And that goes back to what I said before about your motive. Why are you doing the things you're doing? Are you really getting into this arena so you can help people? Or are you doing it because you want to make yourself look good, or you want to say, look at me, I know something. Well, I'm an authority in this. I can't do anything else, but I can do this.
Come on now.
Because your motive is going to determine your outcomes.
It is. It could be no plainer than that. Let's go ahead and get into the crown check and wrap it up, fellas. We keeping it moving today. We doing it. We doing it, man.
This is the crown check segment where we honor our queens. Respect.
Crown check on 4/5/2026 goes to one of our good sisters. She is a legend in funk and soul, and she was a former Black Panther. Shout out to our good sister Shaka Khan.
The demands have changed on female performers now, or do you think it's always been there? You just haven't played the game in the way
the game has changed.
Yeah, because
all bets are off. These women are doing any and every damn thing on stage. And trying to sing too. The ones who are doing the most physicalities with their butts and stuff, you know, and their body parts are the ones that usually are compensating for what they don't have.
Move your bottom if you don't.
You know what I'm saying? Voice. Absolutely. So I came to sing, and I came to really do a good job, and that's hard work. It's hard. It's tough, but I don't feel like it's hard work while I'm doing it. I feel great.
Before the Grammys, before the world was screaming her name, before she became the soundtrack to generations, Shaka Khan was already a threat to the system. Not because she could sing, but because she could organize. She came out of the south side of Chicago, a place where police treated Black neighborhoods like enemy territory. And kids grew up knowing that their safety was something the city didn't care about. And instead of shrinking into that reality, she stepped right into Black Panther-affiliated youth programs as a teenager, doing real community work before she ever even touched a stage. So let me walk you through who she was before the spotlight. Shaka Khan, back when she was Yvette Stevens, was raised in a city where injustice wasn't a headline. It was the daily weather. She saw that poverty wasn't accidental. She saw that brutality wasn't a few bad apples. She saw a city investing in policing instead of protecting. So when she joined the Panthers youth group, she wasn't doing it to be radical. She was doing it because that was the only group that was actually feeding kids, educating families, and defending the neighborhood that the city refused to defend. She showed up to serve free breakfast before school, pass out political education materials, help run childcare at meetings, organize clothing drives, support mutual aid efforts in the community. This wasn't performative. It was survival work.
Shout out to our good sister, 10-time Grammy Award winner, Shaka Khan, bitch. Act like you know. All right? Former Black Panther, very decorated, extraordinarily talented sister. What's up? That's what I'm talking about. This is why you don't see me heaving a whole bunch of praise on a lot of these artists nowadays, both male and female. But since we're talking about a female artist, you know, I can speak more in that vein. But I don't heave a lot of, you know, praise on a lot of these artists these days because they're not about anything. They don't stand for anything. They don't care about anything. They don't represent anything, and their music is absolutely about nothing. So when you have a sister like this who's done so much, who's contributed so much, who is such a warrior, you know, we got to make sure we give our sister her flowers, you know, while she's still here with us to enjoy them. You know, this is an extraordinary sister, and I just want to see her continue to do great things. That's just the latest situation where she calls somebody out, and I love to see it when, you know, some of these sisters from back in the days come out and tell her how it really is, because we got a whole lot of industry plants running around here like it's safe. Aretha Franklin did it, Whitney Houston did it, now Shaka Khan's doing it. I love it because that is what is needed. Correction is needed. You know, she spoke very clearly on these female artists that are out right now and the antics that they use to sell records because they have no talent. I'm still waiting for Cardi B's 15 minutes to be up, goddammit. And I got to sit here and watch her twiddle around with her crotch on stage. What are we doing? Go ahead, man. Take us on.
Great show tonight, man. You know, just be very wary about who you're taking advice from. And the future looks very grim for the people that are not going to be aligned with somebody that they should be aligned with. Meaning that if you are out here and you don't have a suitable mate, things are going to get rough. We're seeing gas prices go up to $5, $6. It's a lot different when you have somebody that's in the same household as you, or somebody that you can call your significant other that can, you know, help you and alleviate a lot of these extra charges and bills that's going to occur over the next couple of years, because this war isn't going to end no time soon. No. So when y'all run around here and y'all talking about, oh yeah, I make my own money like Kendra G talking and all that, remember AI is kicking in. Just to let you know how serious AI is, the CEO, I forgot what company it was, gave an email Friday morning at 3 a.m. and laid off 30,000 employees. So imagine if you're a person, a man or a woman, that got laid off. They already not, the hiring process is slow as hell. You ain't getting hired on the spot like that, because a lot of these companies, they're trying to stall out on hiring people because they want to bring in the AI to take over a lot of these jobs. So they're trying to save as much money as possible by keeping you guys off the payroll so they can invest that extra money into these robots that they want to buy in. So you're going to see the world start changing very rapidly, and we're going to have to get back into that community that we once had. You know, remember the days where we would watch film that say the neighbor go next door and ask him for sugar and, you know, a cup of flour and all of that. Those days might be turning around the corner. And you want to be a person that is able to give and not somebody that's going to be out here looking for their next meal or how to survive because you have this independent attitude going on. So just be mindful of what's coming up in the future and prepare yourself, not only yourself, but also let your children start seeing good examples of you interacting with other people as well, because when they see you act a certain way, children mimic and follow your behavior. And then down the line, they're going to be put in a situation and they're going to blame you for it. So I'll land my plane on that.
Well said, Bobby Drake.
Big ups to Sister Shaka Khan. Truly, I know the word gets used and abused and dish-ragged so much these days, but she is truly one of the last divas that we actually have.
Facts.
That woman is a walking, living, breathing icon, not just musically, but as you can see, for her contributions to society outside of music.
Yep.
And even now, unfortunately, we see that a lot of the old heads, they may have started out one way, and then as they go and age creeps up, they start regressing. Like Jason Black said, you got to watch these old niggas. But thankfully, Shaka is still very much the same that she's always been, the queen of consistency. And we need her as long as we can have her out here, man. Because again, I don't know who's going to be replacing some of these legends and icons, but we're in sore need for someone to come and fill those gaps. And some big shoes to fill. I recognize that.
Yeah.
It's a tall task. But we need folks out here that are really making the effort to do that. And again, you don't have to be perfect out the gate. You can iron it out on the way. Where we just need folks to get started and really be that voice. And one day, you can reach those heights. Shaka, when she first started out, it wasn't with any knowledge that she was going to have the kind of career that she had, or that she was going to be who she is today. But she went ahead. She was bold, courageous. She let her craft do the talking. She developed herself, and she used her voice and platform to speak truth to power. And that's why she is who she is today. Anybody else can do the same. Just get started. Thank y'all for kicking with us this evening on another edition of Manversations 2020. These trends that's out here, man, we need to make sure that we're doing the work. All of this really, all of this, distill everything and break it down. All this really starts with the interior. Ladies and germs, we got a lot of internal work that we need to do. We have a lot of work that needs to be touched upon. We have some unhealthy egos. We have a gross lack of self-awareness. A lot of us have been fed some bad information, some bad game. We didn't have proper examples before us to really teach us how it's supposed to go down. And so a lot of us out here, blind, deaf, broken, pitifully naked out here. The good thing is how we began isn't the way we have to finish. There are sources out here where we can go ahead and get gamed up. We can go to therapy and we can go ahead and repair our minds, repair our hearts and our spirits so that we're in a better position to be out here and participate in life like healthy, proper, functional adults. There's too many arrested development folks out here. Now, there's too many people who are damaged out here. And worst part of all, they call themselves out here contributing and weighing in on important central matters. Like Ant was just talking about, this is the wrong time to have this separationist, dysfunctional, I'm better off alone mentality. This is the wrong time to do that.
It's outrageous.
Maybe if we were in times of plenty where the job prospects are amazing, everyone has too much to eat, gas, so forth, maybe then we can do that. Right now, this ain't the time. Y'all about to be out down bad.
It ain't the time.
This is the wrong time to find out that you are a terrible mate. This is the wrong time to be anti-marriage and anti-family. This is the wrong time to think me and my lesbo buddies and me and my sword fighting dudes can get up. This is the wrong time for that. We need each other more than ever. But that's not going to happen which is stank ways. So if you can't do it for the love of the game, for your own sense of self-preservation and survival, please, it's not a game. Get some therapy. Sit with yourself. Really be honest. Work out those kinks that you have within yourself so you can become a whole functional person and you can attract your mate, you can attract your tribe, and you can build your positive, strong community. And then you can come together and put it with other people so we can get a strong, cohesive society. IG crew, YouTube fam, Facebook people, we appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, there's a like button down there. The little thumbs up. Go ahead and click that thing, man. Like this. You know you love this content.
There you go.
Share it. And if you can't share it to the person they don't have a social media account or whatever, that's cool. We love word of mouth. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell your relatives. Tell your neighbors. Tell your garbage man. The post office lady that keeps ducking you with your W-2. Tell her also. Get the word out about what we do in here. And the bell icon. Hit that thing. Get all our notifications so when we go live, you'll have your marching orders to come join us. Until next week, we have the host of Manifestations, Major Gage. We have the CEO of More Empowerment Radio, Anthony Malcolm. And it's your boy, Bobby Drake. We are Manifestations 2020.
Yeah.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. A place where we inform, build, and inspire. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. A place where we inform. Manifestations. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. A place where we inform. Manifestations. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. A place where we inform. Manifestation. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestation. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.